Scoop out. The mother is scooping cereal out for her children. Walk over. The father is walking over to the table to join his family. Pull up. The father is pulling up a chair. Sit in. The father is sitting in the chair behind the table. Chat away. The mother is chatting away with her children. Look at. The mother is looking at the father. Pick up. The father is picking up his mug. Put down. The father is putting down his mug. Reach for. The girl is reaching for her cup. Slide over. The girl is sliding the mug over. Stir up. The boy is stirring up the cereal in his bowl with a spoon. Move over. The mother is moving the container over. Take over. The mother is taking the plate over to the table. Move aside. The mother is moving her mug aside. Put in. The father is putting a piece of food in his mouth. Tuck into. The father is tucking into his meal. Point out. The father is pointing out something on the table. Hand out. The boy is handing out a piece of food to his sister. Pour out. The boy is pouring out the milk into his cup. Screw back. The mother is screwing the cap back on the bottle. Fill up. The father is filling up her bowl with milk.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're doing something a little different. We're setting aside the big picture topics to focus on a massive shortcut to fluency.
A really practical one.
Exactly. Our mission today is very targeted. We're diving into some source material all about learning English, and we're pulling out the most powerful phrasal verbs from, well, the most common setting you can imagine.
The morning routine.
The morning routine. We're talking about the vocabulary that takes your English from just being correct to sounding truly natural.
Yeah, and the source material for this is just brilliant. It's
Yeah.
all based on watching a very short video. It's like 2.5 minutes long.
That's it.
That's it. Just a family's morning breakfast. So you get all this vocabulary tied directly to real actions, to a real context. It's not just a list of words on a page.
Which is how you actually remember things.
Exactly. You learn it this way. It sticks.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Our goal is to distill the most functional phrasal verbs from that tiny routine. We need the meaning, the application, and, why it's a better choice than just a simple single verb.
Right.
So we're awake, we're moving into the kitchen. The action immediately shifts to prepping food.
Right.
The source mentions the mother dealing with cereal.
Yes. And the action is scoop out.
Scoop out. This is a perfect example of that shortcut we were talking about.
It really is. You could say the mother took cereal from the box, but scoop out is so much more efficient, so much more visual.
It implies a tool, right? A spoon or something.
Exactly. You're lifting something out of a deeper container. It just paints a better picture with fewer words.
And while the cereal's being scooped, there are drinks.
Mm-hmm.
We see pour out again.
Yes, Dad is pouring out coffee, the boy is pouring out milk. It's that go-to verb for emptying a liquid from a container. Very versatile.
Okay, and after you pour something out, you have to close the container.
Yeah.
The source gives us a really specific mechanical action for this.
It does. Screw back. The mother is screwing the cap back on the bottle.
So not just close.
No, because close is too general. Screw back tells you it's a twisting motion, that you're putting it back to its original secure position. That's the kind of detail that makes you sound fluent.
Right. Don't just close the bottle. You screw the cap back on. It's those small, frequent actions.
Precisely. We have to stop thinking of them as just verb plus preposition and start seeing them as a single, really specific idea.
Okay, so that's the prep phase. Food and coffee are ready. Now the family starts to gather at the table. This is where the real movement starts.
Yeah, and this next section is just a masterclass in directional phrasal verbs. These are the ones that tell you not just the action, but the direction, from point A to point B.
So the particle, the over, up in part, is doing all the work of telling us where things are going.
That's it. So the father gets to the table. He doesn't just walk. He walks over to the table.
The over tells us he's crossing a space to get there.
Exactly. And when he gets there, he doesn't just sit. First, there's the dynamic action of pull up a chair.
Ah, so that's the effort, moving the chair closer so we can actually use it.
Right. And then comes the final positioning verb, sit in. We saw sit down earlier, which is just the general act of sitting, but sit in is more specific.
How so? What's the real difference there?
Well, sit down is the transition, the movement downwards. Sit in is more about the final position. You're in the chair within its confines. It's location specific. You sit in a chair or in a car.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, then the items themselves start moving around the table. The mother is taking over the plate.
Right. Transferring it from her space to the table space. It's possession and location all in one.
And sometimes it's a smaller move. She might just be moving over the container.
A little shift, yeah. Just to make space or pass it to someone. A localized movement.
This section is just packed with these subtle differences. The source points out the girl is sliding over her mug. Why not just moving over?
I love this one. Slide over adds the physics.
The physics.
Yeah. It tells you it's being pushed along a smooth surface, probably with very little effort. It adds a texture to the description that move over just doesn't have.
And then, to clear space entirely, the mother is moving aside her mug.
Right. Taking it out of the main area of action.
It's amazing. You replace a whole sentence about friction and destination with just 2 words. That's the real power here.
It is.
All right, so we're all at the table, everything's set, now the eating starts, and this section is full of these tiny micro actions.
It is. Let's start with the most high-frequency pair. The source highlights pick up, and its opposite, put down.
The father picking up his mug and then putting it down.
If you master just those 2 today, you're already ahead. We do this hundreds of times a day without even thinking about it.
And just before you pick up something, there's the intention. The girl is reaching for her cup. Why is that for so important?
Because reach for clarifies the goal. You can just reach, stretch your arm out. But reach for directs that action toward a specific target you intend to grab.
Connects the action to the goal. Okay.
And while she's doing that, her brother is mixing his cereal. But you don't just mix it, you stir up the cereal in the bowl.
Right. And the serving is still going on. The father isn't just adding milk, he's filling up the girl's bowl.
That up is key. It implies a sense of completion, filling it to the top or to the amount that's needed.
This is where we get into the really idiomatic language, the stuff that signals real fluency. The source uses tuck into for the father eating.
Yes. This is a great one.
Wait, tuck into? That's brilliant. If I hear a learner say that, I immediately think they've absorbed the culture, not just the grammar.
Oh, absolutely. It means to start eating with enthusiasm, with gusto. It's so much more than just he is eating. It shows eagerness, enjoyment, a massive fluency booster.
And then you have the contrast, that energetic phrase, and then the simple mechanical put in, the father putting food in his mouth.
You need both. And at the same time, the conversation is happening. The mother is chatting away with her children.
So is chat away for any kind of conversation? Or does it imply something specific?
It definitely leans toward relaxed and pleasant. Chat away suggests a continuous, easy, friendly conversation. The low hum of a family breakfast. It's much more descriptive than just talking.
And amid all that, you get the nonverbal stuff. The mother is looking at the father, directing her attention.
Right. And then they're sharing. The boy is handing out a piece of food to his sister.
Distributing it.
And the father is pointing out something on the table, managing attention. It's just incredible how many of these unique actions are packed into such a short scene.
So let's step back. What does this all mean for someone learning? We've just broken down a scene that's under 3 minutes long and pulled out more than 20 specific high-frequency phrasal verbs, and it's all from the context of one short, everyday scene.
And the insight isn't just what to learn, it's how to learn it. Power of a technique called shadowing.
Okay, explain shadowing for us. Why is it so powerful?
Shadowing is basically repeating what you hear almost at the same time. You can do it in stages. First, you might pause the audio and just repeat the phrase. You're focusing on getting the pronunciation
Well,
right.
that makes sense for comprehension.
But the next step is the real key for fluency. You try to say the words along with the speaker at the exact same time, like an echo,
Why is that so important?
because it forces your brain to process the language in chunks, in phrases, and to adopt the natural rhythm. Remember how we said wake the kids up has a certain flow?
Right.
Shadowing helps you practice that as one single musical unit, not three separate words. That's the secret to sounding effortless. It trains your mouth, not just your mind.
So you're not just learning the meaning of scoop out, you're learning the actual cadence of it.
Exactly. You turn a complex grammar rule, like separability, into a habit. You don't even have to think about it anymore. You just know it's fill the bowl up.
So here's a challenge for you listening right now. Take one or two of these verbs we've talked about, maybe a specific one like screw back or that really energetic tuck into, and just try to use it today, intentionally. Make it stick.
A great idea.
And as we wrap up, the source material gives a little hint about what's next. It says even something as mundane as cleaning the house is just packed with more these practical phrasal verbs.
Which leaves you with a final thought. If you
Wow.
can get over 20 unique verbs from a tiny breakfast scene, how many could you learn just by paying attention during your next routine task?
Hmm.
We covered wake up and sit down, but can you think of one more phrasal verb from a morning routine that we missed? Maybe something you do right before you walk over to the kitchen. Think about your clothes. What do you do with them?
That's a great question.
That's your fluency challenge for the day.
Scoop out. The mother is scooping cereal out for her children. Walk over. The father is walking over to the table to join his family. Pull up. The father is pulling up a chair. Sit in. The father is sitting in the chair behind the table. Chat away. The mother is chatting away with her children. Look at. The mother is looking at the father. Pick up. The father is picking up his mug. Put down. The father is putting down his mug. Reach for. The girl is reaching for her cup. Slide over. The girl is sliding the mug over. Stir up. The boy is stirring up the cereal in his bowl with a spoon. Move over. The mother is moving the container over. Take over. The mother is taking the plate over to the table. Move aside. The mother is moving her mug aside. Put in. The father is putting a piece of food in his mouth. Tuck into. The father is tucking into his meal. Point out. The father is pointing out something on the table. Hand out. The boy is handing out a piece of food to his sister. Pour out. The boy is pouring out the milk into his cup. Screw back. The mother is screwing the cap back on the bottle. Fill up. The father is filling up her bowl with milk.